Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Welcome to the Zaxby's pregame show.
Welcome to the pregame show, the NFHS Game of the Week. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Jerry Chalmers here with the color. Jerry, what's happening, buddy?
No, I'm ready for some football, man. That's all. I'm ready to see some good football.
I am too. This is a matchup that's been a lot of fun over the last couple of years. A lot of changes over on the Union Pines side of this as they visit Lee County. Tough task for them. Coaching staff, you got Union Pines coaches from last year all over the state, it seems like.
Yeah.
But Jason Trousdale comes in. Last year he was a coordinator for this team. He got the job. Ryan Giggy, who was the coordinator last year on offense, is still running that offense. And I imagine he's actually doing a little bit more play calling than he did back when Lonnie Cox was the head coach before leaving for Fairmont. This is a team that has one objective on offense. Get the ball to Ethan Biggs.
Yes.
The sophomore comes in. He's as dynamic as anybody you want to see. Couple years of football left in him. If he can put on some pounds, that's a D1 talent right there. Last year we saw him exclusively at the wide receiver position.
Mm-hmm.
This year they're going to line him up all over the place, but primarily at tailback.
He's
It's
fast.
going to be interesting. He's very fast.
He's fast.
Very fast. He'll get it and go. Got a lot of make you miss. Got a lot of wiggle to him. The problem Union Pines is going to face is they are a very small 3A team. Their size is reflected in the size of the school, and they're going to get pushed around on both sides of the ball. Lee County is going to have a huge size advantage on both sides, and you take that size advantage and you compound it by the fact that Union Pines is going to have linemen going both ways all night, whereas Lee County is going to basically roll out a fresh 11 for offensive or defense. If Union Pines can get Biggs and some of those other playmakers into space, could be an interesting game. If they don't, it could be a very short night.
That's a big if. I do see Lee County establishing offense early in this game. If they can establish offense early, that D-line with Slink, Landon, Johnson, and also JoJo on the corner now, if they can get pressure, it's going to be a long game for Union Pines tonight.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I am interested personally to see what the offense looks like. Under Lonnie Cox for a couple of years, we saw screen. A couple more screens, then maybe we take a shot down the seam, and, we forgot we'll run it one time.
Yeah.
At this time,
I know that we're going to get more balance here, but I don't know what it looks like, and I don't know that this is a good matchup for them, but we'll see. Now, we're going to go down to the field for the national anthem. We'll come back, and we'll have your NFHS Game of the Week. I'm Chris. This is Jerry. We'll see you at the start of the ball game.
for your service to protect this great color guard, commandant and carrier of national colors, Cadet Captain Angie Lopez. Right guard, Cadet Sergeant Skylar Casey. State colors, Cadet Sergeant Courtney Calder. And left guard, Cadet First Lieutenant Harrison Mosley. Performing the national anthem tonight will be the Marching Yellow Jackets under the direction of Bryson Lyons and Matthew Bowles.
Wilkinson Chevy Cadillac Buick GMC welcomes you to the NFHS Network Game of the Week. Brought to you by New Image Media.
Brett Clemens.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Lee County Yellow Jacket Marching Band. Led tonight by Bryson.
Jackets. Number 1, Kenny Palmer.
I lost my train of thought.
Number 3, Eli
Oh,
Harrison.
anyway.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, Military Appreciation Night here at Lee County. And,
Yeah.
nice crowd. Nice crowd. I was interested to see what it was going to look like tonight. There's a lot going on here in Sanford over the weekend. Of course, the fair kicked off in full swing, or is it going?
It's full swing.
It's full swing?
Full
All right,
swing.
all right. You been out on the Ferris wheel yet?
No, sir.
Bumper cars?
No, sir. Neither.
And Indy Fest downtown Saturday and Sunday. You headed out that way?
We have our class reunion this weekend, so big shouts to the class of 2000.
Class of 1970,
Oh.
you say?
You're old.
So your class reunion, in town or no?
It is in town. It's over at Westlake Community Center.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
we'll be out there tomorrow, be at Hugger Mugger some tonight. Some of our members will be here at the game tonight, and I may have a special guest at halftime for
I'm
you.
fired up, man.
Yeah.
I'm fired
All right.
up. All right, well, very good. So you're not doing anything this weekend as far as community activities?
No, I'll be now. I will be over. Also, tonight is military night. And it's also youth football night. So
Yes, it is. I forgot about
the
that.
Lee County Chargers. You know, they were out on the field a little earlier. We got to see about them, talk about them a little bit, and they will also be having a game. Games on tomorrow. Their first sets of home games. So if you're available to come out tomorrow over at the practice field, definitely come out and see our future Jackets / Cavaliers, whichever way they may go. Definitely going to be some good football out there as well.
Yeah, this program hasn't become what it's become in the last 4 or 5 years by accident.
Right.
And that interface and that infrastructure with the youth program through to the junior high school programs
Yes.
is a huge part
Huge.
of the success that the Yellow Jackets have enjoyed
Yes.
the last few years. And the pipeline is full, man. You look down at that JV team and what they're doing.
Yep.
You look at the size. You look at the
Yep.
strength that they're putting on these young men.
Yeah.
As much talent as they're going to lose this offseason, looks like they're waiting in the wings. Just slide up a year.
Oh yeah, and I mean we've had so the first ones to actually come through the programs, they graduated 2020, and you look at that's Desmond Evans, Division I, Jaden Chalmers, my son, Division I, DDP, Division I. You know, these are the kids. AJ Bullware, Jaden Marshall, all these guys have came through that program, that youth program, and you see what kind of products are coming out of it. So they develop that, they get that early competition, and it shows when they get to high school, they're ready.
Well, I think that people don't understand the process of getting from youth football through to a Division I program, because high school football is a big part of that. But it's the camps.
Yes.
It's the working out on your own in the off season.
Yep.
It's the support of your parents and your community.
Early.
It's the work in the school, in the classroom. There's so many more components to it. And, there's a lot of young people out there with a lot of potential and a lot of talent, but there's very few that are actually able, to harness that, take advantage of the opportunities, and work their way into that. And it's amazing to see so many young men from our county going on to bigger things. And whether they play, at the NFL or they just take that college education and put it to use, they've set themselves up for a really bright future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, they have.
All right. Jacket's about to break out onto the field. I'm hyped, man. God, I'm fired
Hey,
up.
this is the first time you've been back to Lee County
Yes, sir.
in a little while. Yeah,
Man,
that's
it
right.
is.
You missed the last home game.
It really is.
It's time to feel the steam, because here comes your Yellow Jackets.
All right, Jackets led onto the field by senior Eli Garrison, number 3, carrying that sledgehammer.
Oh, yeah. I am ready for some football.
Coach Steve Perdue and his Yellow Jackets come in at 3-1. It's a rarity that they lost a home game, but lost to Glenn on that fill-in game. But bounced back with 2 really good wins, looking really good against South Granville, and then in a really nice, exciting ball game against Fuquay last week. A little bit closer maybe than the Jackets would have liked, but a great performance on both sides of the ball. And in spite of some wonky officiating and some things going on,
it was
Jackets pulled it out, won by 2 touchdowns. And what we saw from Fuquay is Fuquay was able to match up, especially up front size-wise.
Yeah.
I don't see that tonight. That's going to be the challenge for Union Pines. And we'll see what Coach Trousdale's got in store. I like Jason Trousdale a lot. He's an experienced guy, and I'm interested to see what he's got put together. There's some continuity there with the rest of the staff.
Yeah.
Primarily Ryan Giggy, the offensive coordinator, previous to this new administration. So these kids know the system. And sort of like what Lee County's got in Lonnie Cox's couple of years at Union Pines, he was trying to foster the same type of relationship with the feeder junior highs. Maybe that's paid some dividends. We'll see how it goes. Hernandez to kick off. High spinner. Chappell on the return, out across the 25, be taken down at the 28. Union Pines will set up shop 1st and 10.
28-yard line.
Almost a little dangerous there.
Yes, sir. Well, he caught it with a full head of steam.
Yeah.
All right, like we talked about in the pregame, the guy to keep your eye on here, number 14, Ethan Biggs, sophomore tailback, really got statewide attention early in the season last year, was putting up gigantic numbers, and then teams kind of figured that out, rolled the safeties over the top, and said, you're going to do something else to beat us, but still able to put up big numbers.
He's definitely going to be something to look forward to tonight from Union Pines. I love to see them I love to see a game. I love to see them make it a game. Big fullback in the back.
Yeah, tight formation for the Vikings on 1st down. Slink cuts through, stops it after a 1-yard gain. He was almost unblockable most of last week.
There he is. Slink, the brother of Colin Johnson, who's the quarterback at Pembroke University as well.
Landon Johnson.
All right, 2nd down for Union Pines. And this one will go off the right side. Gets a couple fights ahead, and he'll have about 3 on the carry. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
On the carry for Union Pines. Throw down on the play for the Jackets. But number 8, Mark Schlesinger.
All right, 1st and 2nd down. You did what you had to do.
That's Schlesinger, your backup QB on that tackle right there. How often does that happen?
Not very often, sir. All right, the Vikings, first big play of the game, 3rd and 6. Still in that tight formation. Certainly not going to run it straight ahead. We'll see some misdirection, maybe some play action. There's the play action. Yep. Nope. Right up the middle, and that was predictable. Needed 6, got about 4. So you got some options here. 4th and about 1.5 yards.
On the carry for the Vikings. Stop by number 56, Ross Johnson.
Looks like they're going to be going for it a little early tonight. So, hey.
38-yard line.
All right. Coach Trousdale going to roll the dice right out of the chute. Still at that tight formation. Lee County in base. And the hand is to the fullback. Stacked up, but powers ahead. Needed 1.5 yards. Got about 2.5.
Well, he come out. I see that 22 come out with the ball. JoJo comes out with the ball.
Jennings comes out there talking about it.
Damon Bremer.
They have a conversation here. But no, they're going to wave the chains ahead, it looks like. And that'll be a Union Pines 1st down, brought to you by Pitt's Air Pools Wise. And apologies, I'm figuring this out as we go. The rosters that we were given for the game don't seem to have anything to do with what's going on the field. So we'll see if we can sort that out.
We'll get it together.
All right, Union Pines 1st and 10 near midfield. The hand is up the middle. They keep faking that keeper. A helmet pops off. And they're going to get a flag there. I don't know if it's going to be a face mask.
Damon Bremer on the carry. Tackle by number 22.
This is always an interesting call when a helmet comes off a player, but particularly a ball carrier. Play should be dead where the helmet came off. And occasionally you'll see the player flagged for continuing to play after his helmet comes off. Let's see what happens here.
That's something you just taught me one today.
Lee
I did not know that.
We've seen it before. They're going to get the face mask, so this is going to be a free 1st down for Union Pines. They've strung 2 together, and it's 1st and 10 inside Jagged territory, all the way down at the 40-yard line.
Indication is face mask on the Jackets.
So on pretty much every hand, we've seen the quarterback fake that keeper to the right.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon. Definitely coming soon.
I like the game plan. It reminds me of last week with Fuquay, where they milked the clock every snap. They moved the ball methodically, and they kept that Jacket offense off the field. In the end, they just couldn't move the ball enough.
Yeah.
Good penetration, but Lee County ran right past the ball carrier, and a nice pickup, 8 yards on the carry. And second and short.
See, also tonight, the Yellow Jackets are missing Mr. Phillips, number 90, Mr. Phillips off their starting lineup who took a headshot last week, and he's on the concussion protocol. So he is not playing tonight. He is a major part of their D-line.
All right, after the spot, the call it second and 3. Inside 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Snap, hand is up the middle, and stacked up short of the first down. Going to leave third and about a foot.
Took a little while for the whistle to blow on there. Stoppage of play.
Well, I tell you what, that's a favorable spot, and it actually may be. Let's see where they set it down. I think that's going to be the third consecutive Vikings first down. All right, Union Pines, they came to play.
TJ Johnson.
Taking that old school football and running it right down their throat.
All right, the hand is up the middle, stacked up, short gain, but keeps moving it forward.
Russ Shaker on the carry for the Vikings.
About 4 on that first down carry.
TJ Johnson.
And his Lee County offense, or Lee County defense rather, that loves to pin their ears back and get after the passer, stacking up and having to fight off run blocking is not near as much fun.
Something they haven't seen much of, but they did get a little bit of that last week. Well, quite a bit of that last week.
They did, and here you see the adjustment. You got five linemen in the game now for Lee County. If they're going to keep it packed in, Lee County's counter to that will be put more bodies in the way. Schaefer up ahead and may have another first down. 4 in a row for Union Pines. Very methodical, very effective. Great game plan, great execution.
Yeah.
Stop on the play by number 22.
Keeps the clock going,
JoJo Jennings.
which is that's definitely in their favor.
For sure.
After the game, Russ Shaker. Union Pines first down.
And you're watching that play clock inside of 15 before they even approach the line of scrimmage. Defense creeping closer to the line of scrimmage for the Jackets. The hand is up the middle, good spacing, and finds the hole and a nice first down carry.
Nice wrap up by number 2, Tyreek McKinley. I'll tell you what, to go back to talk about Tyreek a little bit, what was unusual about last week, he had the best defensive game I've seen in a long time from him.
Number 2 playing safety tonight. They're playing a one-high safety look to start this thing. All right, Union Pines inside the red zone, creeping closer and closer to the goal line. 2nd and 5. 3 men in the backfield with quarterback. The hand is up the middle and stuffed. Nice play by the defense.
Damon Grimmer on the carry.
Ross Johnson back there.
Stop on the play by number 54, Chase Sally. And number 56, Ross Johnson.
All right, so this is a big third down. 3rd and 5. Lee County starting to count on that run coming right up the gut. We'll see if Union Pines tries to challenge an edge or put the ball in the air for the first time tonight.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at 22, Mr. Bremer. He is a nice-sized kid, 6'2", 230, playing fullback tonight. He is a nice size.
All right, the hand is to Schaefer, stacked up in the backfield, and that was Biggs checking in for his first carry, and that's a tough spot to put him. That's a young man that's not a power runner, and asking to beat a man at the point of attack, not his forte. 4th and 4 coming up No movement from the sidelines. The field goal team is going to stay on the sideline. And it looks like they'll go for it again. Paid off the first time.
Oh, yeah. Biggs is definitely getting him in space type guy.
All right, well, he's in there for this 4th down. Brenner at the fullback position. And they've got an H-back in there as well. Ooh, there's motion, and that may change the decision-making. Had a flinch from the H-back, Jamal Williams there. And they're going to give him a false start, and that's going to back him up from 4th and 4 to 4th and 9, which may be a little too ambitious. Union Pines hasn't picked up 9 yards on a single play yet. We'll see what Coach Trousdale has in mind. Still no movement from the sideline.
He's going.
And I wonder if the concerns are about the ability to execute with the way this Lee County special teams unit gets after kicks.
Yes.
Because right now, you've got all the momentum, and the worst thing that can happen here is you run almost 8 minutes off the clock and flip the field.
Yeah.
A blocked field goal could go the other way, and it would be a disaster. Now, Coach Trousdale, after all that, runs the play clock down to nothing. 4:18 left in the quarter. He wants to talk about it. We'll be right back on the other side of this break.
Pentair, empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose, lives with enjoyment, lives that flourish, lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
All right, welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week. The Union Pines Vikings challenging, trying to get on the board first here on the road against the Lee County Yellow Jackets. Vikings a prohibitive underdog in this game, but they've strung together 4 straight first downs. They're into the red zone, and now on 4th and 9, going to take a crack. They've been in a tight formation the entire night. Now they're going to go spread on 4th down. Biggs in the backfield. Keep your eye on him, number 14.
He's in the slot.
Drops back quick. And
they were looking.
Ooh, I tell you what, had that Lee County defender, number 34, gotten his head around, that had been picked.
Yes, sir.
It falls harmlessly to the field and is just as good as a turnover. And Lee County will be going the other way, their first time out on offense.
So last week, Will, number 12, quarterback, started out 15 of 15. That is almost unheard of.
In the first half, he was perfect, 14 of 14 for 177 yards. And it was kind of by surprise. I don't think anybody in the press box thought that he was perfect in the first half.
I didn't notice.
And we'll see how they come out here. B.J. Brown gets to start at tailback. We'll see 34. We talked about the linebacker, T.J. Johnson, a little bit. We'll see JoJo Jennings. B.J. getting better and better and better every week.
Every game.
And we've talked about this a lot. He's not the most explosive back in this program.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the strongest back in this program, but he is the most complete back. And if he continues to grow like this, it's going to be special. You see the forward lean. You see the good feet, the ability to hit the hole quickly, and if you give him a step, he'll take it to the house. Patterson back to throw for the first time. Might have been a hold downfield on McKendall.
Nice.
And finds his man across the 40 for a first down. Logan Walker on the reception. That might be his first catch of the year, sir.
Yeah,
I had to check the roster.
Haven't heard that one yet.
Well, we saw Jalen Person with a big catch last week on a broken play. Logan Walker with his first catch, I believe, of the season on a broken play. And they mugged Tyreek McKendall on that route on a couple of occasions, got no flag. That'll be interesting to keep our eyes on, because if they're going to allow them to wrap him up like that, it's going to affect what Lee County can do in the pass game.
And I tell you what, I mean, we were just speaking of BJ, and you said all those good things, and also I'm going to follow that up with he's just a sophomore. So he has a lot to grow. He definitely has a lot of time to grow. I see him being one of the best that may come through. At the end, it's very possible.
Well, we saw him get a lot of, not a lot of looks. We saw him get a lot of looks in game 1 last year, And everybody in the program felt like he can be RB1 as a freshman. And in a program of this stature, that's unheard of.
Yes.
There's the pass on first down. That's Tyreek McKendall weaving his way for 15 and a Yellow Jacket first down.
Tyreek McKendall, coverage and tackle on the play, about 24.
So Tyreek, Kenyon, and Kenyon Palmer, and also Tyler Lyman. They came down and visited
Tyler
ECU.
McMullen.
Yes, they came down to visit ECU last week. Definitely had a good time.
There
and I tell you what, there's BJ.
And he's into the secondary,
There's
running
BJ.
past people. That'll be a touchdown. Jackets, 34 yards.
Yes, sir.
On the carry.
Yes, sir.
Jackets.
That young man's going to break a lot of records.
He's going to he can break all of them. If you think about it, what sophomore has started varsity quarterback?
Not my 10 years.
Not.
I mean, you look at the numbers that
Been a while.
Jameer Smith put up before he went to Notre Dame, and he was followed up directly with 2 years of A.J. Boulware and gigantic numbers. This young man's got 3 years by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And it could be scary.
It could be really scary. Really scary.
All right, just like that, Union Pines ran all that clock. Eight up field. Lee County, half a dozen plays. They're in the end zone, 7-0, 2:39 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. Be back on the other side.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, nearly 8 minutes of possession for Union Pines. A minute and a half for Lee County. 7-0 Jackets.
Number 14.
Kennedy Hernandez on the kick.
Kennedy
And
Hernandez set the kickoff.
Adjustments
Jackets.
after that first drive, Jerry. You saw Union Pines walk the ball down the field methodically. What does Lee County do to adjust and stop that?
You're going to see some of T.J. Johnson and JoJo right now.
All right, high spinner. This is trouble. And
he caught it.
Oh, it's Logan Walker with his second huge play already in this game. There's a flag. I don't know what they're going to get here.
I don't know. Definitely 10 yards.
Definitely 10 yards.
Looks like the defense coming back
They
out.
got the defense on the field. What are they calling? Catch interference?
Definitely 10 yards on there, so I don't know what they could be calling.
Oh, kick catch interference.
Oh.
I didn't see it, buddy.
Looked like he ran right up under it. Yeah,
I didn't see it. And it may not have been Walker that ran into a potential return man for Union Pines. That's a tough call.
First time I've ever seen that call.
Coach Bordeaux not too upset about it. So
he's not a
screamer.
Yeah, he's not a screamer. Very laid back.
Sometimes I have to check.
Yeah.
Put a mirror in front of his face, make sure he's breathing. He is a very chill guy.
Very, very, very.
All right, so Union Pine's going to get good field position. Short kick, penalty. Going to be inside Jacket territory. Ball will be spotted at the 43, 2:36. And here we are back to that tight formation. Biggs out. Shaper back in at tailback. Jordan Hoffman in at fullback. 5 defensive linemen for Lee County, and they got 3 linebackers right up on the line of scrimmage. Those linebackers shooting gaps now.
Oh, yeah.
You said you'll see T.J. Johnson. He's there leading a swarm of Jackets.
Oh, yeah, a swarm of Jackets. Hey, tonight we can get a thing of Vikings.
You ruined it, man. I was going to roll it out. You tipped it off. I was ready, brother. I was ready.
Hey, they still don't. It still might surprise a few, though. Still may surprise a few.
3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7 for Union Pines. They are working that play clock. Inside of 10 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap, and they lined up in the neutral zone. That's going to be a procedure call against Union Pines. I think the right side of the line.
Yeah.
That was an illegal formation, I think is what we got. That's what they're going to call as a procedure. Take my word for it. There was no movement. It was the right side of the line lined up in the neutral zone. That'll back him up, and that's not what Union Pines wants to do.
Not at all. Stops the clock.
As my good friend Dave Kaplan would say back in the day, you can't get behind the chains, and that's where they're at 2nd and 12. We've only seen the one pass attempt. That was on 4th down, and frankly, didn't look very scary.
And Biggs not in the game.
Nope. All right, here's the snap, and wrapped up.
Oh, yeah.
And who's leading the way? Is that?
That's just a swarm leading the way.
It's a swarm. Logan Johns in there. Or Noah Johns, excuse me.
Jordan Hoffman on the carry for Union Pines. Tackle by number 58.
Johns, the unheralded member of this linebacking corps.
Definitely.
You got, two guys with all the accolades, and number 22, JoJo Jennings, last year's sophomore All-American, who's having a great junior season, and then, of course, the senior T.J. Johnson, number 34 in the middle of that defense. If there's a better middle linebacker in North Carolina football, I haven't seen it.
He does not get the notoriety that he deserves.
He will 2 or 3 years from now. I promise you that. All right, 3rd and long. Union Pine's going to stay conservative. 3rd and 11. They'll get about a yard. Once again, Lee County coming out of that pile with the ball. Officials say it was down and a long 4th down now. 4th and 8, and the offense is on the field. Oh, no, here they go. Looks like they'll punt this thing away.
I hope so.
I believe it's Zachary McCormick going to handle the punting duties. Nope, they are running their off. That's their offense out there, buddy.
But with 7 on the play clock.
Here we go, 5 on the play clock. 4, 3, 2, 1, and they did not get it off. And that was an interesting decision. They were going to run the option for the first time tonight.
Took a little while to get together there.
And really a little bit of bad luck there because there was only a second left in the quarter. That's going to back them up. Now you got 4th and 13, and the offense still staying out there. Coach Trousdale said, I'm leaving it all out on the field. But I'm going to tell you, I'm concerned about this. They line up like they're running the same thing they just tried to run. And this Lee County defense is not dumb. I think we're going to get can't end the quarter on a penalty. So they're going to run an untimed down here, I believe, with 0 showing for the quarter. But
it could result in 6. Any quick punt.
This is I'm interested to see what the conversation with the officials is. Oh, they're going to reset the clock. Okay. They're resetting the clock to 14 seconds, which is when they say the play clock expired on that penalty on the last play.
That's a little much. Yeah, it's about 1 second.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now they got it back to 14. I am so confused right now. I have no idea between the officials, the clock operator, and Union Pines going forward on 4th down. My brain is.
Yeah.
Now they're going to wind this clock, I think.
1.4.
They're asking to reset the play clock, so 25 on the play clock. They wind the clock, but it doesn't start ticking, so they are going to run a play. Okay. And there's the pressure. It's out, and that ball is low. Wasn't going to be anywhere near the first down as they were trying to find Holton Dull. And Lee County's going to take over as we begin the second quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week brought to you by Wilkinson Cadillac.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
All right, welcome back. After one quarter, Lee County Yellow Jackets up 7-0. Not the most exhilarating ball game so far.
No. Surprised that 2 times in a row. We've seen twice him going for it on 4th down, and really not in a great position in the field.
No, and obviously this team game planned to run the ball out of that tight set. They're doing it fairly effectively, but on both of the 4th down calls, they've tried to do something completely different. You got to wonder how many reps they got, and there's a reason they didn't come out running those type plays in the first place.
Right.
So to run them in those situations is a tough ask for this offense, and now they've set Lee County up with pretty decent field position. B.J. Brown has gotten all the reps at tailback. 6 plays last time out resulted in a 34-yard B.J. Brown touchdown. The sophomore, number 7. Keep your eyes on him. They're going to flip it out to the left to him. He's got space. He's in the secondary. Makes a man miss.
Another big run.
And here comes a big one.
Another big run.
Cuts it back into the inside and down to the 25. We'll give him 27, 28 on the carry. B.J. Brown coming into his own. This is his party.
Number 22.
This could be the game that he finally breaks out. To have that break, that one big breakout game, this could be it.
Well, we've seen it a couple of different times this season where he's been a step away half a dozen times in any particular ball game.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the game where he's no longer that half step away from getting loose. All right, fakes the hand to Brown. Patterson hits Kenyon Palmer.
There's
Palmer
a wall
blocking and keeps driving his legs and is going to be down close to a first down. They'll mark him down at about the 15. Yellow Jackets into the red zone. Jerry, who's our red zone sponsor? Oh, I thought you knew.
Hold on, I got froze that time, so I gave you one. So Remax is our red zone sponsor tonight.
Remax Real Estate Services, with locations in Sanford and in Apex, if I'm not mistaken. Patterson drops and throws it outside, looking for McKendall, just over his head.
Will Patterson's pass is incomplete, intended for number 2, Tyree.
I like seeing the Jackets throw the ball downfield. We didn't get a whole lot of that this year. Not a whole lot, but I love to see it. I love to see the ball in the air, going down the field.
Well, each week we've seen this Jacket passing game, the down the field passing game in particular, get a little crisper.
Yeah.
Get a little crisper. And we've seen a new receiver kind of move up into the fold. All right, Patterson drops down the seam. Had Garrison through a little bit behind him. Eli thinks if he gets his hand on it, he ought to be able to bring it in. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10. And an official's timeout. See what we got going on here. A uniform issue, maybe some blood. I don't know. Number 2 is going to be checked out of the game. That's Zachary McCormick for Union Pines. Something going on there. The entire Jacket offense looking over to head coach Steve Bordeaux, calling the offense and the defense. You don't see that very often. All right, Patterson spread, 2 wide right, 2 wide left on 3rd and 10. And that's going to be 5 free. He'll get half of those.
Definitely don't want to give up any free yards against the Jackets.
And I'm gonna guess that number 17, we have him we have him on the roster as Logan Walker at 17. That's Aaron Wallace. I know it is.
It does look like Aaron. Yeah, it does look like
so
Aaron.
So we both teams have got us with the roster. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'm looking down there. 14 on the sideline looks a lot like Aaron Walker, too.
There's BJ.
Brown, second touchdown of the game. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
First one was from 34. That one from about 10. And the Jackets are up by 2 touchdowns. We may be wrong because looking for there is a 14 on the sideline. And that looks an awful lot like Aaron Wallace, too. Keep looking.
Well,
you'll see. I don't know what's going on.
Same shoes. Well, not one has. Well, same shoes and all.
And every week I ask Coach Bordeaux, any changes? No, same stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Not known for a lot of changes.
No, he likes to line it up, do what they do.
Yeah.
10:39. We'll stay here through the kick. Lee County making it look easy on offense. And Union Pines, this is a team that's going to play you hard from the opening whistle to the final gun. But at some time, when it looks so easy on offense, that'll take the steam out of you.
Yeah. And the way we were just speaking of how methodical they're moving the ball slow, they're taking their time. That's not going to last long. You getting behind early in a game like that. Hey, you don't want to keep doing that.
Well, we saw it last week with Fuquay. Fuquay very methodical.
Yes.
But once they got behind, that was a problem.
And then in the
fourth quarter, when that clock started working against them, they couldn't get 10 and 15 at a time. They had to keep getting 3 and 4 at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately, that was their demise. Lee County escaped with a 20-6 win.
Yeah.
I do just want to give one more shout-out to Fuquay, the entire program. Beautiful brand-new school.
Yes.
I was informed during the week that is the largest school in the state of North Carolina right now in terms of square footage.
Okay.
The facility, the football facility,
nice.
top-notch,
yeah,
first class.
Nice.
And uniforms, the
A1.
Boosters, everything was great. It was fantastic.
A1. The uniform, that was a definite big for me. The uniforms were really nice.
All right, Hernandez kicks it deep. Roberts on the return, gets outside. Nice return, gets it out to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Union Pines.
Union Pines return to the 29-yard line.
Jamie Pearson on the tackle there.
And we'll see if we get the same from Union Pines. They're huddled up over on the sideline, getting a pep talk, I'm sure.
On their own 29.
You only got so many of these in your pocket.
Yeah.
Make it a good one, Coach.
Yeah.
A little surprised they didn't start the play clock, but it has begun now. Still 20-plus seconds. All right, a little bit different look, 3 wide. Still running from the eye.
Finally got Biggs on the offense now. He's not been in as many players as we thought.
No, sir. All right, there's a snap. That's a lateral to Biggs, and Biggs outruns defenders.
Oh, yeah.
And has about 15 and going to get a personal foul on that tackle. The referee's going to say he was out of bounds.
It looked like he initiated the contact.
Run out of bounds by number 2.
Tough call, man, especially with a young man that's got as good a feet as that.
Yeah.
He can turn it back inside really quickly. So finishing the play, but he rode the receiver out of bounds, and that's going to take Union Pines into Lee County territory again and set them up at about the 40-yard line by the time they get done marking this off. If you've got a young man that explosive in the passing game, how can you not do that?
Hey, it's hard.
Just over and over and over again.
It's hard. I mean, he's at top speed in 3 steps there. Easy.
His father is a junior high coach down in Moore County.
Okay.
So this is a young man that's got played a lot of football, got a good base that he's coming from in terms of fundamentals. Drops the pass for the second time in a row, throws it down the field. That's hanging up there. That's trouble. And falls short probably. Oh, my goodness. Wow. We're going to get consecutive personal fouls against the Jackets. That was a tough one. First one was rough. That one's really rough.
Tough.
That ball hung up there. The receiver looked like Holden Hall went up to get it and then took a shoulder when he came down. Didn't look like anybody went to the head. Didn't look like it was particularly malicious. But our opinion doesn't matter, Mr. Chalmers.
No, not at all. It seems like I know football has become very protective for the offensive player now. Very much so.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was against Union.
All right, so they got an ineligible man downfield, and they call that offsetting a break for the Jackets. Well, would have been a 5-yard penalty. Offsets that 15-yarder against the Jackets. And that ineligible man downfield, man, we saw that 3 times against the Jackets last week. Got to be some sort of point of emphasis in North Carolina. I don't know. I've never seen it called 3 times. I asked Coach Bordeaux about it on the coaches show. He said he never remembered having more than 1 called in a game. We saw 3 of those last week against the Jackets. Now we see Union Pines with 1. First down carries going nowhere, maybe a yard for Union Pines.
That is Ross. I tell you what, Ross Johnson is working tonight. He has a sack. Well, he has a tackle for a loss. He had another tackle for a loss. That's another on. Hey, this might be Ross Johnson's night for defense tonight. Not a huge player, but he's back there. Very crafty, also a member of the Panthers alumni, so another representative for youth football.
Undersized, playing at that defensive tackle position on the left side of the defensive line. There's a snap. And up the middle, nice run up the middle.
Nice carry.
That's Ross Shaper on the carry. And that's going to be really close to a first down. They're going to go ahead and wave the chains ahead. Needed 9, got just at 9. Ball's down the 30-yard line. And Union Pines, for the second time, deep into Lee County territory. Both drives for Union Pines tonight have ended in fourth down plays that they were unable to convert. Got to think everything is 4-down territory on this side of the 50.
Everything.
And maybe all over the field.
Everything.
We've seen them go for it 3 times already. And they're going to run out of play clock here. There's a timeout for Union Pines. They're going to talk about it. 8:55 to go in the second quarter. Your Jackets are up 14-0. We'll take a quick break and be back with more action on the other side.
I almost bought me a Tesla today.
What? Did you really?
Oh. I did all the paperwork.
Visit us online at ClassicNissanSanford.com or call 1-855-461-9595. Classic Nissan Sanford.
All right, 1st and 10 for Union Pines at the Yellow Jacket 30-yard line, trailing by a couple of touchdowns. Union Pines letting it all hang out. We've seen all kinds of gambling on 4th down so far.
Tell you what, while we're kind of quiet right now, I mentioned it earlier. I definitely want to give a shout out to the class of 2000 that is here tonight. My class, of course, first class of the new millennium, and we were the best.
Oh, here we go.
We were the best.
Of course you were.
We were the best.
All right, Union Pines. There's the hand. That's going nowhere. Good job of pushing the pile for a couple. And that'll bring up 2nd and about 8.
And you know, I also like to give updates. So Duran McCoy up at Fort Union right now, he has turned himself into the number 3 defensive end in the country for prep schools right now.
Wow.
So he is definitely playing on a whole nother level, man. Really representing Lee County really well.
McCoy, half of that dynamic duo in the middle of that Lee County defensive line last year. In a shortened season, 13 sacks. Really impressive. And that is up, and good job of breaking that up.
Flag now.
In the secondary. Flags everywhere. You know, I was going to come into this talking about it's a beautiful night for football, and it is not a bad night for football, but it is unbelievably warm and doesn't feel like it ought to be. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know, I think I came a little more prepared.
You definitely came more prepared.
Came real debonair tonight.
I did.
You know.
It's not working out well for me.
Well, we won't have much longer.
Oof.
But we have to start wearing coats and, you know.
Yeah.
Toboggans.
Yeah, I need to be really careful about what I complain about when I speak into
it. Won't be long.
And here at Lee County, with the rules now forcing us out of the press box, man, it's going to be rough.
Ooh.
Come October, November, it is going to be horrible.
Well, hopefully
so
don't
we
get
have
too bad.
another. We got an ineligible man downfield again. Yeah. See, I'm telling you, it's got to be a point of emphasis from the state. This is weird, and I don't like it.
Been a lot of those calls.
3rd and 7 for the Vikings.
But they didn't mark the penalty off. Or did they decline it?
They declined it.
Okay, Lee County declined the penalty. My mistake. I was wiping sweat out of my eyes. So Lee County going to decline that ineligible receiver penalty or ineligible man downfield, as you were. And 3rd and 7, again, if you're just tuning in, this is probably 4-down territory for Union Pines. They've gone for it on every 4th down they faced. They're 1 of 3 so far. Ethan Biggs in the slot lined up to the right. Keep your eyes on him. The biggest play of the night was a little flip out there that he took for 15 and got another 15 tacked on.
Doesn't take much.
No, and I tell you what, that 15 can go to about 85 really fast.
Really fast. It doesn't take much.
There
for
aren't
him
too
at
many
all.
players in this state that are faster than young Ethan Biggs. All right, 3rd and 7. After all that, 8:03 to go in the half. There's the snap. Drops. Oh, that's picked.
Oh, he got it. He got it.
The early call, I almost jinxed it, but didn't, and
there's number 14, Aaron Wallace.
Doing it both ways this year. Aaron Wallace is the second corner and really began the year that's going to be our second corner, and it really has become a focal point in the offense, but we haven't seen him out there on offense much tonight. I don't know what's going on.
He's done very well. Very well.
The offensive player of the week for the team a couple weeks ago, and last week, right before the half, had a 54-yard touchdown that he did all the work on.
Big play.
On a screen that flipped that game around. All right, B.J. Brown still in the backfield. He's gotten all the carries so far. Or no, it's not either. It's Kendall Morris, number 11, is checked into the game. Morris brings a little bit different skill set than B.J. Brown.
A little faster.
Yeah, he's a little faster.
Definitely a little faster.
He's a little faster than just about everybody.
Yeah.
He's a junior transfer from across town, and he will become a bigger and bigger part of the offense. I asked Coach Bordeaux the other day whether or not they have a different package for Morris when he checks into the game, and he said no. He's done a really good job of just picking up, and basically what they do is start with Brown and bring Morris Kendall in.
Oh, yeah.
And have him do the same thing. Patterson sack. Nice play by the defensive front of the Vikings there.
Yeah, big loss.
And 3rd and 15 coming up here. The first adversity this Lee County offense has faced tonight. All right, Logan Walker split wide right. Tyreek McKendall in the slot. On the other side, you've got Eli Garrison in the slot and Kenyon Palmer out wide left. Morris in the backfield. That's over the top to Garrison. Oh, my goodness. Eli Garrison was thinking about his touchdown celebration.
Definitely.
And that is the first time in 2 years I've seen Garrison put a football on the ground.
I have not seen him drop anything.
Oh,
definitely
my
great
goodness.
hands.
He is going to lose sleep over that one, buddy.
Definitely great hands.
Lee County going to punt. Landon Johnson doing double duty, plays defensive end and punts. 6:46, Union Pines with the first big break of the game. What probably should have been a touchdown instead falls harmlessly to the ground. Biggs back to return. A little surprised he fair caught that.
Yeah.
But he'll take it in at the 50 instead of taking a chance. And Union Pines will roll that offense back out on the field. 6:40 to go in the first half, down 14-0.
Definitely ready to see him kind of open up in the offense a little bit. Just make it a little exciting for Union Pines. Maybe that can swing a little momentum towards, their side.
Well, here's the deal, Jerry. I mean, if Union Pines is able to walk this ball down the field and punch it in, you get yourselves a ball game.
Yeah, definitely do. 14-0, 6:40 left in the half. I definitely expected more.
The next 3 or 4 minutes of this ball game are going to be vitally important to the way the rest of this game goes because you just caught a break against this high-powered offense. Unlikely you're going to get back-to-back breaks. So if they're either going to walk this thing down, run some clock, or they're going to turn it over quick, in which case Lee County could really put a nail in your coffin.
Yeah. Don't take much.
Inside a 6.5.
Stop for the Jackets, by number 68, Drew
Nice
Thomas.
pickup on first down. Brings up 2nd and 7. I formation. Hand is up the middle. That's going to be
Nothing
stopped in
there.
the backfield. That's your guy,
Nothing at
Ross
all.
Johnson. Penetrate.
Hey, man. Hey,
Johnson
man.
did the dirty work. Slink gets in there to
Hey,
clean it
man.
up.
He's back there almost every single play.
Stop by number 56, Ross Johnson.
And we talked about the size disparity between these teams. Ross Johnson, the littlest member of that defensive
By
front.
far.
He's smaller than the linebacker.
By
He's
far.
playing defensive tackle. Slicing them up and dicing them up.
They're actually their offensive line kind of towers over our D line, but yet we're still making a big impact.
All right, 3rd and long. Just across midfield. Whoop. And we're going to get a flag. Pre-snap. I don't know what we got here. I don't know what call you make. Delay a game.
A lot of penalties again tonight.
Well, the play clock hadn't run to 0, so I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Coach Truesdale's not protesting. I don't know what happened there. The drop, Landon Johnson with the sack. Number 9, Landon Johnson, untouched on his way to the quarterback.
Yes, sir. Big slink.
4th and a mile. No sign of the punt team coming out on the field,
Hey,
which leads me to believe they watched tape and decided we cannot block.
definitely looks
We cannot block up on
looks
punts.
to be definitely going for it.
And this is a huge decision. 4th and 20 here. Union Pines has had one play for more than about 7 yards, and that was a screen pass to Biggs. Nope, they're going to quick kick this. Oh, my goodness. And they're going to get the flag. They got that plant leg. I'm interested to see this call. I'm going to tell you by the book, that's roughing the kicker, and that's 15 yards. Let's see how he calls it. Very slow. No, they're going to give him the 5-yarder. They get away with one.
Ooh.
And I think the referee took into consideration that he wasn't in a traditional set and was really lined up in the shotgun as opposed to being all that way off the line of scrimmage. But 5 yards on the penalty. Union Pine's certainly going to take this and either kick it again or go for it. But a bit of good fortune. It would have been a tough call to put 15 on them there. And now the decision seems to be that they're going to actually go for it. Or nope, they're going to go into that short kick formation. I told you that's what's happened. They absolutely watched and said if we line up that punt team in a traditional formation, they're going to come get it.
Oh, yeah.
That one gets out of their short kick and is going to take a short bounce and roll dead at the 30-yard line. I like it, though. I like it. Union Pine saw something and said, look, we got to be realistic. Let's come up with a solution, and that worked. Too often when teams are overmatched in terms of size, there you go, you're getting your shout out.
Got my shout out.
And a procedure call against Union Pines, I think that's going to be declined. I don't know. I might make them do it again. They're going to add it to the end of the kick. So that's going to give 5 yards to Lee County. 4:09 to go in the half. And they came out throwing the ball that last series. I got to think you're going to see them reestablish the run here. But what do I know? B.J. Brown back in the backfield.
Definitely a heavy dose of B.J. right now.
All right, here we go. Patterson gets the snap. Brown up the middle. Down, he cuts the left, back up into the middle.
Nice cut.
And going to have 10 on the play and a Lee County first down. That'll stop the clock to move the chains. 4:03 to go in the half. Already up 2 touchdowns. Searching for another one.
Jackets.
Hand this to Brown again. Brown looking off the right side now. Big room outside.
Big run.
And breaks through a tackle.
Oh.
Now knocks his own man over. That was nice. Logan Walker out there blocking for him. Gets knocked in the back for his troubles.
Love seeing the strong running from BJ, man. Strong running from BJ. He might say something to him at halftime about that one. Might say a little something about that one.
Consecutive first downs. Brown will check out. Kendall Morris into the game. 1st and 10 at the 35. Clock now running with 3:30 to go in the half. There's a snap, fakes to Morris. Now looking for the screens. Got Aaron Wallace. They wrapped him up quick. No gain on the play. That's the play run to the other side of the field that got the surprise. I'm not going to call it cheap. Got the surprise touchdown before the half. When he caught it, we didn't think he'd get through everything, and he just outran everybody.
But wasn't that to the short side during that time? Most of the time on the short side of the field, that's when that play really works.
It was to the short side. It was just on the left side of the field. All right, Patterson drops, looking down the seam, has a man. That's Tyreek McKendall, the all-state receiver, down to the 15-yard line into the red zone. Lee County on the move.
First down, Jackets.
McKendall looking sharper and sharper in the passing game.
Definitely.
I like the way he's finishing routes. I like the way he's getting in and out of breaks. And he looks a step quicker than he did opening week at Chatham Central.
Definitely. I think a lot of comments that he may have been hearing have definitely got to him, and he definitely wants to show a little bit more, and he's been showing it. Both sides of the ball at that.
All right, Patterson with 2.5 to go from the gun. Hands to Morris. Morris off the right side. And scooting has about 8 down inside the 10-yard line. Clock continues to move. 2:20 to go.
Number 11 on the carry for Lee County.
McKendall, the only Jacket so far with a D1 offer, offered by the U.S. Military Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation with a couple of young men the other day. You know and I know that there was a contingent of Yellow Jackets that went out to ECU.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked one of those, who shall remain nameless, if they offered the whole bunch of you, would you guys go?
Ooh, close.
That's the type play that can change a ball game. Brett Clemens, great coverage, read the play, ducked down in front of the receiver, hit him in the breadbasket. I don't know if he could outrun those receivers and scored, but he would have gone a long way before they caught him. Instead, it's just a loud out, as we say in baseball.
Yeah.
It's third and short. All right, Morris with the carry, breaks out of the first tackle, falls forward, going to be really close to the first down, but it looks like he's going to be about a yard short. 4th down coming, heavy package. Here we go.
I love seeing this heavy package.
TJ Johnson
I love
and
seeing
JoJo Jennings checking in
Jeremiah Martin.
to the backfield, and that's a lot of girth coming at you. Oh! And we don't get to see it as Union Pines jumps offside for the second time in a critical spot down in the red zone. Just found out that James Alverson will be coming up with us in the booth at halftime.
Okay.
The grand poobah
Okay.
of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Be interested to see what he has to say.
So we're going to have –
I promise our producer I'm not going to quiz him and work him over about this new conference alignment.
Yeah.
All right, the hand is to Johnson. That's just too much man to bring down. 3 times on the ground, Lee County's punched it in, this time with 1:19 left in the half to go up to 20-0. They leave a little over a minute for Union Pines, who has struggled to make big plays. And Lee County get the ball to come out in the second half. It's looking really dire very quickly for the Vikings of Union Pines.
Really fast.
Kennedy Hernandez on for the extra point. Hold is down. Kick is up.
Oh, it went in.
Love it.
Went in.
Living right.
He's living right. From the right reverend.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Be back with the kickoff.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Welcome back to Lee County High School. on campus at one of the 2 schools in Lee County. Of course, old hats like you, as far as y'all are concerned, there's only one school.
There's only one school. That's Lee County Yellow Jackets. Baby.
Paul B. Gay Stadium, McCracken Field. I had a dream the other day, man, that they bricked in that outer fence and turned this into a proper bowl. It should happen. It should happen.
Ooh, that would be nice.
It should happen.
Hey, maybe if we send enough of our players to certain places, we might can get it to happen.
I tell you what, that's a small fraction of a signing bonus in the NFL right there, buddy.
We might can get it to happen.
Hernandez kick, minute 19 to go in the half. He kicks it deep and away from Biggs. And 1 broken tackle, 2 broken tackle, but not 3. Nolan Roberts with his 3rd kick return of this ball game. And Union Pines, see if you got any tricks up your sleeve with a minute and 11 to go in the half. Really need to make a mark here and certainly cannot turn the ball over and let Lee County get another bite at the apple.
Definitely want to keep it right here. Hopefully they can get a score right here. I know that's definitely on his mind. Get a score right here. They don't want to come in after halftime, give Lee County the ball, and they go down 28-0. Definitely don't want that happening tonight.
All right, Union Pine's going to go with 2 wide, both split left. They've had a lot of different backfield combinations so far tonight. Cheesing for the camera right now.
Mm-hmm. Definitely for the class of 2000. And so
I had to make sure that you were in front of me, man. It's my trick because I have a very big head. And if I'm in the front of the frame, it's bad news.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely. So
we're getting run over in here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a special guest that I said that for halftime as well for the Classic Nissan show. So we got a good halftime show coming up today.
It's not just you talking about cars.
Not just me talking about. I'm gonna not talk about cars today.
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna talk about cars.
No, we love some Nissans, man. I'll talk about it because I'm gonna get an Armada when it's all said and done.
Oh, I'm waiting on you.
All right.
Definitely waiting on you.
Minute 2, and we're gonna get a Lee County timeout. Stop the clock. They want to get this ball back. Union Pine's moving the wrong direction.
Number 34, T.J. Johnson.
We got a microphone. We can go ahead and get this started early.
Get it started early?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to introduce some of our guests for halftime. The first one is my own child. I'm going to introduce 3 ECU Pirates. They're all freshmen, and they come down today just to watch a little bit of game. I have with me today, I have my son, Jaden Chalmers. I also have Mr. Walter Simmons III. And I have Mr. Ray Noda Rose.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
You know, I'll ask them a few questions at halftime and get them to give, hopefully, some of the youth out here, since it's youth night, to give them a little bit of wisdom what they expect when they get to the next level at college.
Because it's easy. All they do is just show up, play football.
It's just easy. It's really easy. I mean, you don't have, as a parent, you don't have to worry about them calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning crying, you know.
All right, 2nd and 15. 2 timeouts still left for Lee County here if they want to stop this clock, and I imagine they do. Union Pines running it, trying to get outside. The flip is late.
Ball
That's
down.
trouble.
Oh, man. Recovered by
That was the last thing in the world Union Pines could afford to do.
Oh, well.
Tried to pitch that late. Got it out of there, and that looks like JoJo Jennings coming out of there.
They're going to
call that a forward
pass. Yeah, they called it a
forward
pass.
Oh, I'd like to get a replay on that win. I don't know if I believe that, sir.
It looked sideways to me.
Looked awful lateral to me, buddy.
Really, really close.
Anyway, it still doesn't do any favors because the clock stops. Lee County gets to hold on to that timeout. Now you get 3rd and a mile coming up and really nothing in your playbook that you can lean on. All right, they got a gang of receivers over the left side of the field, it looks like. As we've said, they're going to use their last timeout. Union Pines wants to talk about this. Big play in the ball game. They need to do something here, 3rd and 15. We'll take a quick break and let them talk about it and see you on the other side.
Lamco Homes. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
All right, welcome back to Paul B. Gay Stadium. Chris Delambert, Jerry Chalmers, and a cast of thousands here. We're going to move into this halftime. I was considering going, trying to find me a ribeye sandwich. That's not going to happen tonight.
Oh, man. They got ribeyes tonight?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just playing.
I'm
too old to walk down those steps and walk back up. If I go all the way down, I'm not coming back up, so I'll just stand here.
I would have sent for us one. We'd have got one.
Now, the Booster Club here at Lee County, they do a steak dinner every year that's a huge fundraiser.
Yeah.
And, not a bad piece of meat. All right, Union Pines here, 3rd and 15, a minute to go in the first half. Already down 3 touchdowns. Can ill afford to let Lee County get back into the end zone before the half. From the gun, there's a snap, rolling left, and gets it out of there, throws to nobody to bring up 4th and 15.
He was triple team, triple coverage right there.
It's tough when everybody in the building knows who it's going to. No chance to get it to Biggs, and that looked like that was the only read there. So we saw this short, I'm going to call it a quick kick formation, where they line up about half as deep as the punter normally would be. Lee County knows what's coming, and pressure came right up the middle. Ross Johnson almost got the first one. They're walking linebackers up. Here they come. And, oh, my, how did they not get it? All right, McKendall going to signal for a fair catch. That's the second time I've seen a playmaker signal for one where I thought we were going to see a return.
Lee County is definitely not known for returning punts. I know a couple years ago they didn't even put anyone back there a few times.
Yes.
So definitely not known for, returning any kind of punt. So that's not.
All right, 2 incompletions on that drive for Union Pines, which wasn't part of the game plan. Means Lee County's carrying 2 timeouts right now, 52 seconds. They haven't had any problem making big plays down the field. I think they're going to take a shot down the seam right here. Patterson on first down drops, looking down the seam. There's McKendall, has it, going to fight into the end zone. I am a soothsayer, Jerry Chalmers.
You said it. You said it. You said it.
I've been watching this offense for a couple years, buddy.
Yeah, I've been right here with you. I've been right here with you.
And it's 27-0. No offense to anybody watching at home, but you can warm up the bus.
Long game.
45 seconds to go in the half. Kennedy Hernandez on to add the extra point. And keep in mind, Lee County gets the ball to start the second half. That kick is up and a little straighter, a little truer, but no less good. 28-0 Jackets. We'll take a quick break, be back with the kick.
All you do is win, 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 no matter what. We got you on our mind, we can never get enough. Every time you step into our building, everybody's hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. All you do is win, win, win. Put your hands in the air when you go down.
Visit us online at ClassicNissanSanford.com or call 1-855-461-9595. Classic Nissan Sanford.
All right, welcome back. It took a little while. Union Pines early was able to take the air out of the ball, run a little bit of clock, not so much the last couple drives. Lee County 4-5 on drives, converting for touchdowns, coasting to a 28-0 lead right now. Union Pines trying to get out of the half before any more damage is done.
Well, since you guessed the last play, or last drive, touchdown, what do you got coming?
Right here?
Yeah, what do you got coming?
They're going to kick it deep.
No, as far as the next set of down.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
The onside attempt, and that's going to be picked up by Lee County, and that'll be jacket ball 1st and 10. Still 2 timeouts, 44 seconds to go in the half. They're trying to put this one to bed right now.
That was unexpected.
We might have one of those Jim Harbaugh handshakes at the end of this ball game.
That was unexpected. That was unexpected.
All right, so Monday, the coaches show, the Zaxby's coaches show will be at Wilkins and Cadillac. Union Pines scheduled to be there, along with Lee County.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Yeah. Well.
Tune in.
Let's see.
Tune in. All right, from the 45, 44 seconds to go, Lee County. They trying to get to a running clock,
Ooh,
I think.
Definitely.
All right, Patterson from the gun. B.J. Brown in the backfield, 4 wideouts. Drops. Looking down the field. Looking for Kenyon Palmer, who is.
Did he get out?
Oh, I think they blew the call, sir.
Oh.
I'd like to see that. Looked like the right foot was down. It was close.
We can't go back. I wish we had high school. What would you think about high school replay?
Oh, we have replay. Oh, you're talking about them doing it?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? These are the same guys that are calling 3 ineligible downfield? No.
It might be a little too
now,
much
they should
pressure.
let us call make the recall plays from the booth. That'd be fun.
Definitely.
Woof. All right. Well, there was a penalty on the play anyway.
Holding.
So, in the end, it doesn't matter. And that being a spot foul, it's going to be 1st and 25, 37 seconds to go in the half.
I think they'll take another shot.
Oh, they're going to, yeah. You don't do an onside kick with 45 seconds to go in the half and not let it all hang out. Patterson didn't give Palmer quite enough room to work on that sideline, but he definitely had his man beaten. All right, B.J. Brown got the handoff. He's into the secondary and gets 5 yards of that back. Going to get a timeout from Coach Bordeaux. 30 seconds to go in the half. Oh, no, they signaled the timeout the wrong way. They signaled to Union Pines, but it certainly is a Lee County timeout.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 2nd and 20 coming up here.
You know what I've never seen from Coach Bordeaux?
What's that?
I've never seen a trick play.
He doesn't run a lot of I don't recall seeing a single one.
Yeah.
He is not one to out-gimmick you. He's one to line you up and out-execute.
We definitely used to do the field goal. Field goal unit used to come out in crazy formations, but most of the time, it was a direct snap, 2 points, real easy. But not much of that this year.
No. The one thing that I will say about Coach Bordeaux from the time he took over 4 years ago is his playbook has grown by leaps and bounds.
Definitely.
I mean, they had about 6 things they did when he took over, and they did them really well, and they were effective.
Oh, yeah.
But his focus has become on the postseason, and running 6 plays against Weddington's not going to get it done. So they do a lot more things and haven't really dropped off in terms of execution. What they don't do is that little toss sweep that they used to run 40 times a game.
Yeah, don't do that too much.
You see it once in a while, but that was the bread and butter for this running game for a couple of years, and we've seen them get away from that.
You got to run it like Bull where you can definitely do something like that.
He was fun to watch. All right, Patterson on the flip. That's McKendall coming around.
There's Tyreek.
Well, I tell you what, that's blocked up well. Look at Tyreek McKendall. He's going to the house.
Easy money.
55 yards, just outruns everybody. Oh, my goodness. We got a problem. They're going to wave that off.
Did they throw a flag?
Now, yeah, you got a lineman running down there with no helmet on.
Oh.
They're going to blow that thing dead.
Oh.
And what did I tell you earlier? They'll flag it, and that's what they did.
That's what they did.
Your helmet comes off, you have to stop.
That's what they did.
I'm wrong. They're going to call a hold. I didn't see the hold. I protest.
Well, I tell you what, that was
17 and a half seconds to go. I didn't see the hold.
That was some good blocking.
That was blocked up.
That was textbook blocking right there from Lee County. Hey, they had to come back on the call.
Oof.
But that's a tough one.
All right, so downfield, so that's going to bring them back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 20. We're going to do this all over again. Tough call. That looked pretty well blocked up to me. A couple of years ago, we had replay during our telecast.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
I think Mr. Wynn down there, he might have had something to do with that.
He said I worked too hard already. Went crazy running this show, man. Doing a fantastic job week in and week out under unbelievably rough conditions. Patterson drops, lets it air it out. Kenyon Palmer, a lot of contact. We get a hold on the sideline, but we don't get an interference call. 3rd and 20 coming up, 12 seconds to go.
Coverage on the play for number 4, Alex Spangler.
Palmer a lot of back and forth between he and the defensive back there.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that's Alex Spangler back there in coverage. And I tell you what, out of the frying pan into the fire because he was just trying to run with Kenyon Palmer. Now they've got Wallace lined up on him, and he couldn't run with Palmer. Wallace, oh my goodness, miscommunication. That was a great play design. 4th down coming up. Clock never started. 12.8 to go, they say. And I think the offense is going to stay out there. So they had Johnson on the wheel route. Johnson never got his head around.
Yeah, definitely comes some confusion right there.
What are they going to bring out? They are going to bring the punt team out. All right. Landon Johnson had to go find his helmet. 12 seconds to go. Plenty of time on the play clock. 4th and 20. So the touchdown comes off the board. Nice punt.
Nice punt.
That's as good a punt as you'll see from Mr. Johnson. That's going to roll and roll and roll some more down to about the 11-yard line where it's down there. And Union Pines will get it back with 3 seconds to go. Probably take a knee.
Probably would definitely take a knee.
All right, so Union Pines playing some defense, forcing Lee County off the field. Got an assist from the Zebras, but you take advantage where you can get it.
Definitely a big assist right there.
All right, I know we got a packed halftime. So before we get into the halftime, if you're Union Pines, what are you trying to do on offense? Are you trying to run this and just not get blown out? Are you trying to come back out and make some plays and make this thing competitive? What are you trying to do strategically?
For the kids' sake, you got to come back out and just try to, get some kind of offense going. Definitely move the ball around. I know they don't want to run the same way they came out. I know they don't want to go with that. But definitely get some momentum going.
There's your knee. That's going to take us double zeros. We'll take a quick break and be right back. We got a load of folks coming through the halftime. You don't want to miss it. I'm Chris. This is Jerry. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week.
What do you want to
League 28-0 on the visiting Union Pines Vikings.
Lamco Homes. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
Welcome to the Classic Nissan Halftime Report.
Welcome back to the Classic Nissan Halftime Show. And guess what? I do have some great guests tonight. I have my son right here, Jalen Chalmers.
How y'all doing?
I also have Mr. Walter Simmons, and I also have Mr. Ray Rose, and these guys are ECU Pirates. So I just wanted to kind of get them up here and ask them a few questions about, to give them a little bit of advice for our youth here in this area. And Jaden, I'll start with you since you're my son. What would you say for these guys who are seniors and they're looking to go to college? What can they expect?
Just stick to the grind. Everything gonna pay off at the end.
Gotcha. Now, Walt, we know you're from Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. You're a quarterback down at ECU. And what advice would you give?
I'll probably say stay on top of your grades. Always stay in the school, stay in the books, because those come first.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I'm going to end my last question for Mr. Rose. How is it? So all you do when you go to college, you go to football practice, you go back to your room. It's easy. It's nothing. You don't have to work out every day, all day. So am I right?
Nah, you're wrong. That's who you're wrong at, guys.
So what would you say?
Again, what Jay said, it's really a grind. There's really no days off. You know what I'm saying? There's sometimes you winning for real. There's no going home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, because you're trying to get ready for a bowl game. So honestly, when you get to college, you just got to lock in and put school first and then football. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what comes first in life.
Gotcha.
To be successful.
Gotcha. Well, it was great to have you guys up here tonight, coming out to the game and then coming up at halftime. Like I said, it was youth night tonight, so I will be looking at you guys. I will be there on Saturdays to see y'all. So thanks for coming up. See you soon. I'll see y'all. I know they're going to eat a lot of chicken at my house tonight, so I have them boys over. And we'll be right back after this break.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world. of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, welcome back to the Nissan Classic Halftime Show. Joined by the Grand Poobah of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, James Alverson. Sanford native. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. I hope you guys are, and I would say I'm far from the Grand Poobah. That is my boss, Commissioner Q. Tucker. I want to make sure that's clear. But I'm glad to be with you guys, and I am a Sanford native, and it's been a good night for the Yellow Jackets so far.
It has been in a long line of very good nights. You know that there's no chance you were going to get out of here without me fussing at you about the conference alignment, right?
You can fuss. No. But I'm
not going to fuss. I'm not going to fuss. But what I want to know is, I want you to talk, because a lot of the folks, especially folks that are sticking through the halftime show, hardcore high school football fans, talk them through the thought process with the realignment. First of all, the realignment of schools, but more specifically, the conference alignments that look so much different than they have in the past.
They certainly do, and one of the things that was a big factor is we wanted to try and cut down playoff travel, and so one of the things that we did is we put an east-west line through the middle of the state, down the line between Alamance and Guilford County and on down through Randolph and Chatham. So those are split up now east and west, so you don't, and when you have your conference alignments, you don't cross that line. And so while there are some natural geographic arrangements of conferences where you would cross that line, because of the way that we were doing it this year, they decided not to do that. And that way you're pre-designating who's in the east, you're pre-designating who's in the west, and those two are fairly balanced in even regions in terms of the number of schools. So that led to a lot of different geographic arrangements for conferences as well, because like I said, you're not crossing that line between Chatham and Alamance, you're not crossing that line between Moore and over to Montgomery County. So those things aren't happening, and that made for a little bit different alignment.
Got it. And the playoff structure itself, along with the teams being geographically predetermined, have also changed. Talk about the difference in the playoff structure this year as opposed to in years past.
So the biggest playoff difference this year is there's no longer a subdivision for football. So you're going to get 64 teams in 4A, 64 teams in 3A, and all the way down to 1A, and there's going to be 64. So there's 32 teams from the east, 32 teams from the west for both sides. So what you'll see is an extra round of playoffs, and you'll see 4 state championships instead of 8 like we've had. That's the biggest difference in what's happening this year.
I think that's the thing that there was the biggest consensus I know of, is that it almost had become a punchline that we had 8 different state champions. I love the move to the 4 state champions. I know you guys have gotten a lot of criticism from a lot of different corners about some of the conference alignments. This one, not the least of those. Yeah. But now the upside of the conference alignment here is, to be frank, you have a much more competitive conference now than you did a couple of years ago, where it was Lee County running the table in the conference 4 years in a row, Southern challenging them a little bit, but really overmatched teams. But you kind of have overcorrected in some people's eyes, because now you have some relatively small 3A schools that have to play against some pretty big 4A schools. Yeah. And that, I think, is a concern with a lot of folks. Can you address that?
And sure. One of the things to consider in that is that we did not do classification strictly based on the size of the school anymore. And so there are other factors that go into classification now. Financial, community resources. We used an ISP number, which is your identified student population, so those students who receive federal benefits of some sort. and that's a percentage that went into our factor this year. Also, success factor played in, so how you did in our state cup points factored a little bit in. But the size of the school is still the largest thing, but it's not the only thing that we considered.
Got it.
So when you're using other factors, those lines between 3 and 4A can sometimes blur a little bit, and that's what happened. So what we did is we kind of grouped people more geographically, tried to keep the travel down as much as we could, and that's how you see some of these more split conferences that we're not used to. But again, you're factoring a lot more things in than we used to for classification specifically, which is a playoff factor and not necessarily regular season.
Got it. For anybody that has been overcritical of this, I would say let's let this play out a year or two and see how it unfolds. You guys will revisit this in another 3 years, correct?
Yep.
And we'll see how it goes. If it's worked well, then let's continue the model.
And that's the thing. We knew that things weren't working for all of our schools top to bottom. There was a drastic gap in the membership numbers for 4A. So you had your smallest 4A school at about 1,400 students, and the largest one in our state is 3,600 students. That's a big gap already. And then on the 1A side of things, your largest 1A school was somewhere around 700, 750 students, and you have a school like Nantahala that's got 28 students on the bottom end. So trying to minimize some of that in a little bit, and when we're working within our bylaws, we only get 4 classifications. So that's what we had to work with, and so we used some other factors to try and level the playing field, especially in that 4A and the 1A classifications. And to do that, you got to give up some things, and that's where we are.
I know that there was serious consideration given by some of the member schools to pushing for a 5A system.
Yeah.
We can see where the disparity is, because if you were to look at all of the schools, of 400-ish schools in the state, there's only about 40 of them that are a 1A classification.
Yeah.
So if you go to 5, you spread that. Talk about the challenges and the arguments against a 5A system.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the way we do conference realignments and those kind of things, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we're at a point where there's 427 member schools, and it might be time for 5A, but our membership has to vote for that. And we had an opportunity for the membership to vote, for the board to set the number of classifications for a given alignment. We had 80% of the ones that voted that said they wanted to do that. Well, we didn't get to the constitutional bylaw of 3/4 of the total membership to vote yes.
Oh, so you had 80% of the voters, but not 75%
but not
of all the
everybody
schools.
voted.
Understood.
And so that's where we ended up with 4 classes, and we had to stick with the bylaws that we have. And so we'll see in a couple of years again, maybe the membership will revisit that, and that will change. But until the membership decides to do that, we're going to be 4 classifications here in North Carolina because we follow our bylaws. And so that's a lot of what we're dealing with. But again, you look at it, 5 classifications, it does spread people out, because now I'm using less schools to group schools into conferences, and you have less schools in a classification for playoff purposes. You could have some larger travel, those kind of things. So there are a lot of different issues when you've got a state like North Carolina that's spread from Murphy
Very
to Manning.
disparate. Yes, and that when you look at it, 5A sounds great until you recognize that you're going to have 5A schools that are literally spread out all over the place, and you're going to end up having to lump them in with 4A schools anyway. So it becomes really complicated. I know that sort of like, we fuss about gerrymandering in the legislature and whatever the case might be. Nobody wants the job because it's hard, and I appreciate you being so candid. What else is on the horizon? What's on your plate right now, or on your plate for the association?
Well, right now the biggest thing on the plate for the association is HB 91, which is the Accountability and Fair Play in Athletics bill that was introduced in the North Carolina Senate. A couple of months ago, it did pass the Senate, and now it is over in the House and in the Education K-12 Committee. And to be perfectly frank with you, from the association's perspective, and I think from a lot of our member schools' perspective, this is a bill that would damage high school athletics.
What is the substance of HB 91? I got to admit, I've been underwater.
I would encourage you to go look it up and read about it, but what I would say is that originally the bill was to completely dissolve the High School Athletic Association and place a new commission in charge that would be a politically appointed commission underneath the State Board of Education. And now it's more of a bill to try and craft terms of a memorandum of understanding that would, in our view, handcuff the High School Athletic Association and how we operate high school athletics on behalf of our member schools, to make an agreement with the State Board of Ed that we think is not, the way that it's written right now, is not tenable for high school athletics moving forward. And so that's kind of what we look at, and we've come to the table and tried to negotiate, and we've kind of been rebuffed on that several times, and we're hopeful that this bill will stop where it is, and we'll have time to negotiate a memorandum of understanding with our with their State Board of Education without political influence in the process.
All right, I'm ashamed to admit that as an attorney, I have not read that particular statute or proposal or bill, but I will. And I have to say that on its face, injecting politics into high school athletics seems like the worst idea I can think of, Jerry. I don't know, but we'll.
I'm gonna wait for you to talk to me about
I will prepare a brief for you and let you know what I think about it, and I will reach out to you, James, and let you know my feelings on it as well.
I would be happy to hear them.
I will definitely look and see what that's all about.
And I would encourage all of our member schools and all the people that are interested in high school athletics out there, read about it. And let your legislators know what you think about this bill. I mean, the High School Athletic Association's done a great job, in my opinion, of running high school athletics in North Carolina for 108 years. But a lot of people have a lot of different feelings. And so if you feel that this is a bill that's necessary, contact your legislator. If you don't feel that this bill is necessary, contact your legislature. We want people that are knowledgeable and understanding of high school athletics to be the ones that inform our legislatures in making this decision.
Yeah, and that's the key, is understanding what the argument is about. You're allowed to have an opinion on both sides, but know what you're talking about. Right. It kind of applies to everything, and I will definitely you'll hear from me. I can't help myself when it comes to that. But, yeah, I will dig into that, and I would encourage, just like you did, everybody at home to do that. So this season is unfolding. We're about to move into conference play. Are you as excited about it as we are?
Oh, I mean, I love it. High school football is something that I grew up playing. I grew up in Alabama before I moved to Lee County, and so high school football was a big deal. Small town Alabama, you went to the football game on Friday night. When I moved here to Lee County, you still went to the football games on Friday night, but I was just playing at them. And so it's a big part of why I do what I do every day, is because high school football and high school athletics had such a great impact on me and the other kids in my community growing up, that I wanted to be able to give back. And so I enjoy getting out here and seeing. I've got my 3-year-old son here sitting on the side. He's doing a great job sitting here and being quiet, but I want him to love high school athletics just like I did, and it's a big part of just bringing communities together and doing something positive at a time when we've had so much just negative news, and we've had so many things that divide us, but high school athletics is something that truly can bring us together, and it can raise the level of communities all over our country, and does.
It always has, and hopefully it continues to. And when I look out at a night like this, nobody's fussing about politics. Nobody's got an opinion about anything except what's going on that field in front of them, and it's a beautiful thing. We could use more. In fact, why don't we just open it up and start playing high school football 7 days a week, 365 days a year? I'm in favor of that.
Some of them might
make that happen.
I think our sports medicine advisory committee might have a little bit of a problem with having that, but I do love high school football. I think it's a great thing for our communities. It's great for our kids.
It is.
And I tell you what, really it teaches you life lessons that you can't learn just sitting in a classroom. It really is a co-curricular activity, and it really adds benefit to the learning environment at a high school. High school athletics is the front porch of any high school that's doing it well. And when your front porch is a nice, welcoming place, Jerry, it's an awesome place to be. It brings people into your community, gets people involved in your schools.
Definitely.
And you need your parents involved.
Definitely.
You need your community members involved in what's going on in your schools to make sure that these kids get what they need to be the leaders of tomorrow. And that's what high school athletics does such a great job of. It's education-based athletics, and it's teaching life lessons, and that's why I think it's of great value.
100%. James, thanks for hanging out with us. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks for being candid, and thanks for putting up with me grilling you about that.
We're
going to go. That was the Nissan Classic halftime show. That was the best halftime show we've ever done.
Man, great.
Seriously.
Great.
And now we're back to the field as Lee County gets ready to field this kickoff up 28-0. I am
Brown set to receive for the Jackets.
I'm hearing people in my ears and everything else. Oh, and an
Onside
onside
kick.
attempt trying to come right back at you. Union Pines not successful. They're going to give Lee County a short field as this offense trots back out. 6 possessions in the first half, touchdowns on 4 of those.
Covered by number 22, JoJo Jennings.
2 rushes from
Lee County, 1st and 10.
B.J. Brown.
43-yard line.
A touchdown catch by Tyreek McKendall and a touchdown run by T.J. Johnson. Spreading the wealth. Here we go. B.J. Brown in at tailback. And this has evolved very quickly this season. We saw early on, one game where I think there were 7 Jackets to carry the ball from the tailback position.
Yeah.
All right, B.J. Brown wrapped up. good run defense there by the Vikings and to stop it for a 1-yard loss. But it is apparent here in Week 5, B.J. Brown is the RB1
He's definitely
for
RB1.
this ball club. And that's good for the rest of the team that he can handle the lion's share of the carries because it keeps T.J. Johnson and JoJo Jennings, and there's Brown on the catch. Be interested to see how the scorers got this one. He's going to go all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Nice carry there.
42 on what I'm going to call a catch because that did look forward.
Yeah.
Be interested to see if the hometown scorer gives him rushing yards there or
I think they'll give him rushing.
laces Mr. Patterson with some passing yards.
I think they'll give him rushing yards on that one. He's definitely over 100 yards tonight.
And just how I was talking about, it's nice to keep Jennings off the field and keep him just on defense. JoJo Jennings in the tailback spot. And he's going to take the carry right up the middle, runs through people, over people, and all the way down to the 5-yard line. 7 on the carry.
Now let me just give a little bit of that.
Please do, sir.
Christopher Gilbert is number 7, who was just tackling JoJo. He's a 6'2", 205-pound linebacker, and JoJo just dragged him with one leg.
And there's JoJo again, and he's into the end zone, spinning people around, knocking people over. He's like a rock'em sock'em robot.
Man.
So 4 plays, Lee County into the end zone, up to 34-0.
And he has another year. To think he has another year.
To think that there are not D1 scouts all over him.
It's crazy.
Is kind of nuts.
It's crazy.
Kind of nuts.
Let's blame it on what everybody else blames it on. Let's blame it on Corona.
Well, COVID has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Last year in particular, because the season got moved off schedule, the NCAA didn't change their rules about visits.
Yeah.
So those guys couldn't get out there. It really impacted the rankings this year.
Yep.
And then you have the other piece of this. And I had an in-depth conversation with a couple of guys in the mix the other day. What the other problem nobody's talking about is the extra year of eligibility given to all the D1 players.
Well,
because you've got guys on your rosters now that were tying up space that are going to tie them up for another year. And how do you come to a senior that's been in the program and say, hey, man, you got to go. It's happening, but there's not very many of them, so there are so many fewer scholarships. The NCAA hasn't reacted, and what you're going to have, I'm telling you right now, you're going to have these guys at prep schools and small schools that are going to be transferring to D1 programs where they should have been, and the D1 programs are going to have guys in the program they were recruiting based on their performance 2 years prior that don't belong there and have to go down a step. It's going to be a mess.
And what I can say, I can almost witness to that exact situation with the guys that we spoke to earlier. They're freshmen there at ECU.
Buried on the depth chart.
And they're not – they can't even travel. And it's because you have all these fifth-year seniors.
Sixth year in some cases.
Sixth year, yes. And so you can't tell them they can't come back, you know.
No, I mean –
big hole. Oh.
Well, got a flag on the play. Nice return. Lee County's been keeping it away. That's Nolan Chappell. That's one of those. We have a semi-updated roster now. We said that it had been Roberts on those returns, but it was not. It was Nolan Chappell, number 15. Sorry, Mama, if we misidentified your son. That's the folks that get the loudest about it.
Was that 19 Jalen Person right there? Is that him?
I think so.
On that tackle there?
I think it was. Guy that just sticks his nose in there and makes plays for this Lee County team wherever he can.
But it definitely, as we were speaking about, the recruiting, and it definitely plays a major part. That extra year that some of them are getting, that put them in college 6 years.
Yeah.
Playing 6 years. And then also what that did, the transfer portal is loaded.
Yes.
Loaded with talent that maybe had to go to JUCO or different colleges.
You're a lifelong college football fan and observer.
Mm-hmm.
You're tied in pretty closely. What are your feelings about the portal? There's the hand going nowhere. Ross Johnson all over the field tonight. That's going to be your defensive player of the game if I have any say about it.
I feel the trend. It could be. It's good. It has its pros and its cons.
Like everything in life.
Yeah, but if I had to weigh it all out, it's more bad than good.
I tend to agree with
I
you,
mean,
sir.
you have a lot of kids who, I don't like my coach.
Yes.
I'm going to transfer. Okay, and then they're in that transfer portal. Now you have all these kids who are graduating, and now you have this transfer portal with over 5,000 kids in it right now. Right now, there's still 5,000 kids in that portal. And to think you're going to have 50,000 graduating.
Well, and in the vast majority of cases, what these young men are finding out is the grass is not greener on the
Not
other
at all.
side. And if you were struggling to get on the field in one program, you're probably going to struggle in the next program.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
at the bigger schools, I mean, if you're Ohio State and you're buried at 4 on the depth chart,
Yeah.
you can probably start for a D1 school somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
the vast majority of people in the portal are not that. And that's I don't like it. I think it's better for most people, most athletes, to maintain that continuity,
Yeah.
establish yourself in the program, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
And then on the back side of that, remember that the primary function is to get a degree, because a very tiny percentage of those young men are going to come back. Oh, my
nice
gosh.
catch.
Wow. Union
Nice
Pines with a
catch.
great play in the passing game. Get 18 on the catch. Tipped up in the air and brought in by Jamison Rimbert. There are so few players that are ever going to play in the NFL that you really have to maximize that education that comes along with football.
Free education.
All right,
Free
first and 10
education.
for the Vikings near midfield. 9:28 to go in the quarter. Right up the middle. No, Ross Johnson tackled the running back, but the quarterback kept it. Finkelstein on the carry.
Hey, that was what we were speaking of earlier.
That's the first time he's tucked it.
That's the first time. First time. But I definitely think, you know, you don't see it. You see it more in football than you do in any other sport. So and right with high school basketball, they're doing a lot of changing things as well. Now you have a lot of schools who you can go play basketball at this one particular school, but yet take your classes at another school.
Well, basketball, the landscape is about to change. Of course, in football, you still are not eligible to play in the NFL until 3 years after your college class started. So you basically have to do 3 years of higher education. In basketball, it had been 1 after having been none.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to none, and you have the whole structure where you've got guys that are playing overseas. You've got guys that are playing domestically in developmental leagues.
Yeah.
You've got one young man, the guy at Oklahoma City, that went and interned for New Balance for a year and didn't play basketball for anybody and went in the lottery.
Yeah. And now you have a lot of kids who are joining these other teams who are considered semi-pro, not foregoing their senior year in high school because they know that they can go to the NBA the next year.
Well,
so
on
it's definitely
fourth
changing a
down, a third and short, they needed 2, got 1. That'll bring up 4th and 1. We saw a whole. Well, they're gonna measure this. It looks short from here.
Looks a lot short.
But after last week and my missteps,
don't want to call
trying to call them, I'm not calling a thing, buddy.
Don't want to call a thing.
I'm still mad at the chain gang from last week.
Don't want to call nothing.
No, they're gonna really bring this out. I thought after looking at it, he got talked into it that it was 4th down, but they're gonna bring the chain gang out, and the chain gang gets to be on camera for the first time tonight. Or no?
Timeout on the field.
Maybe timeout.
Here they come. That's almost a full yard short, Jerry.
It looks like it, but let's not guess it. Last week we felt 2 yards short.
Yeah.
And it was a first down. So.
All right, let's see. It's about a full yard short.
Maybe 2. Almost 2 yards short.
That was bizarre. That's a yard and a half at least short. That's as long a measurement as I've ever seen in my entire life at any level of football. That was strange. Anyway, that'll be 4th and a yard and a half now. And there is a crown on the field here at Lee County. This crown has shrunk in the 10 years I've been here, but it's still a distinct crown. And it's not a crown where the field comes up symmetrically to a point. It's a ridge that runs down the center like I don't even know what.
And sometimes you can see them running and almost look like they cross it over and, you know.
Fall off balance.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. But it's not near as distinct as it used to be. Finkelstein on 4th down, 4th and 1. And there's movement on the left side. They get away with it and might have picked that up by, I tell you what, there was a false start on the left tackle that they didn't get called.
First down, Union Pines.
Lee County coaching staff is certainly expecting the flag, and they don't get it. They're a little incredulous on the sideline, but okay.
Remember, fans, you have 8 minutes.
Needed a yard and a half, got 2. First down, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Union Pines down by 5 touchdowns. At this point, I asked you what your strategy was. At this point, I got to get my team on the board.
You got to.
Don't want to get shut out. Nobody ever wants to get shut out, and that's got to be the game plan for Union Pines at this point.
To put some points on the board now with, you know, Chris, you're a words guy, and you just hit me with the number. Ooh-wee. There is Mr.
Jennings adding to his highlight reel.
Ooh.
Which word did I hit you with? Incredulous?
Incredulous. That was unexpected. I wasn't expecting that one. I like that one. Now give us the definition of incredulous. Or let's
shocked.
Shocked. Gotcha.
Shocked. And shocked and dismayed.
So if you've been keeping up with us on the broadcast, each week we have brought you another word. And Chris does it again. He is the man. He is the word guy.
All right, the pitch. And cuts it back inside, going nowhere. This defense is playing downhill right now, sir.
There's a wrap-up by Slink, and then there's a big hit by Mr. Johnson. Hey, ooh, that's a tough one. That's 2 big hits in a row for Lee County.
They've seen everything in the Union Pines playbook at this point, and they are teeing off. Union Pines, those linemen playing both ways in a lot of cases, starting to get worn out, and the ball carrier's paying the price for it. All right, here we go, 3rd and 9. Finkelstein hidden up under the line. Now he's going to flip it on the misdirection. Here's Biggs.
Oh,
and look at that.
Yes, sir, look at there.
JoJo Jennings with an All-American play. Blows that up.
JoJo Jennings.
If Biggs gets to the corner,
he got space. He had space.
A long way to run. You had one defender back there, and bringing Biggs down in the open field was going to be a challenge. Aaron Wallace would have been the guy, but Jennings said, let's just stop that nonsense right here, right now.
4th down.
And get the punt team out here. So you got this quick kick formation. They're going to bring pressure right up the middle. They're going to get this one. Here it comes. They're going to get it. Got it. Oh, my goodness. He didn't get it.
He's going to run it.
McKendall going to bring it back. Cuts it inside. Running through tackle. Spins. Down inside Viking territory. Down at the 44. That all happened in slow motion.
He was brought down.
I don't know how they didn't get that kick.
Yeah.
They let me down.
They were close. He was brought down by a thing of Vikings. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
43-yard line, 1st and 10 Jackets, 5:32 to go. B.J. Brown putting up big numbers today. I think at some point we're going to see some serious carries for Kendall Morris, but not yet. Been an interesting rotation of receivers. Haven't seen a lot of Aaron Wallace in the game. He's been featured the last 2 weeks, but tonight not so much. Logan Walker's been in there, number 17. He's on the high side, split wide. And there's the hand of Brown. Brown right up the middle, running over people, trying to get outside, brought down by his towel after a gain of about 18 on the play.
It's really nice to see him hit the hole like that.
Yeah, he's sudden.
Really nice, man. That's
hits it hard. He's sudden. He gets through there, and is the same guy that if you want to run it and hit the edge, he can do that too.
Oh, yeah.
That's not easy to find in a top-shelf tailback in a top-shelf program.
As a sophomore.
Yeah. All right, clock stop 5:16. The official is going to send Brown to the sideline. Something to do with the equipment, maybe a shoulder pad sticking out. Morris into the game.
Don't quite know.
I don't either.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't either. Maybe they thought he took a shot to the head, wanted him evaluated. I don't know what that stoppage was for. But anyway, Morris is in. Morris takes up the middle. He's got a step. He's going to go.
Oh, he's going to score that one.
Yes, sir.
Oh, ran him over. Wow.
Kendall Morris. 3 different runners have scored. Kendall Morris adds to it. Beautiful run. From the 24-yard line, Morris says, don't forget about me, buddy. He was a lot of fun to watch at Southern Lee.
Yeah.
And he has brought his talents across town and is an electric ball carrier.
That was great blocking by the offensive line as well. They have actually played a great game tonight, having given up one tackle for a loss, maybe two.
Maybe two. And you talked about that line. You talked about that. We obviously had players from ECU here in the booth at halftime.
Yeah.
Kick is good.
We'll finish the thought on the other side of the break. It's 42-0 with a little under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter here at Lee County. We'll see you on the other side of the break. So I didn't know.
All you do is win, 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 no matter what. We got you on our mind, we can never get enough. Every time you step into our building, everybody's hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. All you do is win, win, win. Put your hands in the air when you go down.
Visit us online at ClassicNissanSanford.com or call 1-855-461-9595. Classic Nissan Sanford.
So it looks like that with B.J. Brown coming out of the game, his back plate shifted a little bit. Now it's hanging sideways, so there was just a little bit of precaution for him.
We got Lee County Magistrate over there on the job.
Oh, yeah. We have quite a bit of law enforcement on the sideline.
Yes, sir. All right, Lee County up 42. We believe there's going to be a running clock after this kick, which means that clock will stop only on change of possessions. We're not clear on that 100%. It's always a lot of factors played in. It doesn't seem to be a bright line rule that's enforced. It's weird. All right, Hernandez kickoff.
In some cases, that running clock at 40 is a great thing.
It is. We talked about it during that last commercial break.
Yeah.
Both of us would like to see Union Pines get on the board here.
Yeah.
Union Pines, frankly, with a very tough row to hoe the rest of this season. As we talked to James Alverson at halftime, one of the things I alluded to is these split conferences that have been created.
Yeah.
Some people like them, some people don't. In Lee County, it's a prime example. I know people that are so completely fired up, yourself included, that Lee County is going to play Scotland, Richmond, and Pinecrest in the regular season. If you're a Southern Lee supporter, not really excited about that. Union Pines and Southern are in the same boat where they went from conferences where they were competitive in every sport, football included, to one where they're overmatched physically. I mean, you've got Union Pines, this squad, who suffers from a size disparity against Lee County in terms of number of players and size, on the lines, to playing against Richmond. And Pinecrest is literally exactly twice as big as Southern Lee, and almost twice as big as Union Pines.
Their line is
going to be
very
tough.
big, and their line is very big. And I mean, in that realignment, the only school. Well, let me put it this way: the only thing that I seen that helped was Lee County football. Now, I don't know about the soccer. I got to, look around about the soccer and anything, but I don't see much else that it helped. It didn't help Southern at all.
No.
As far as
now people would tell you Southern basketball.
Yeah,
and
basketball,
Southern baseball.
Yeah.
They may go over there and I mean, you've got D1 talent coming out of that Southern basketball program regularly, and the baseball program's been top shelf.
Yeah.
Football, it's going to be another animal entirely. All right, ball comes out from Finkelstein. He's got Biggs taken down, but not until after he has 15 and a first down. And Tyreek McKendall looking awfully natural over there at the safety position. We've talked a lot about him and his prospects at the next level. I am certain he feels he can play receiver at the next level. I think he could star at safety at the next level.
Definitely so.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens, where he lands, and what position he ends up in. But he is playing that position like he has been playing it his whole life, which is just not the case.
Yes, sir.
Been used almost exclusively on offense for 3 years here. Now as a senior, getting a lot of time back there in the defensive backfield. All right, Finkelstein drops. That one, nice delivery, gets it out there. He was under pressure. They got there a little late, but he gets the ball out there to Jamison Rembert, and another Union Pines first down. And This is closer to what you would have seen from Union Pines last year, spreading it out, going up tempo, trying to spread the ball around. Of course, they didn't have a heck of a lot of success against Lee County over the last couple of years doing that.
Yeah, it's been a rough road. Let me say, it's been a rough road.
However, the difference is for Union Pines football, because I don't know the status of their other sports. Union Pines, with the exception of Lee County, been really good the last couple of years. In fact, they might have been the second best team in the conference last year.
They were.
Made the state playoffs a couple times. You know, Coach Cox had a great run out there, and behind the oh my goodness, wow! So that flag comes in. I don't know what that was, except a particularly good tackle.
Definitely clean hit. He led with his shoulder.
I don't understand what that late flag was.
Maybe it was the fall over of the player behind it.
I want to reemphasize your point. That was your backup quarterback out there that laid that lumber.
Schlesinger. And we all know, like I've always spoke with Mark. Mark is what we call a dog.
I was going to beat you to the punch.
Mark is a dog. He can do it all on both sides of the ball.
And they got targeting there. That was not targeting. Not trying to be overly critical of the officials, but they called targeting on that hit, and there was not a helmet. No helmet contacted anybody on either side. That was a shoulder to the chest that sent Finkelstein flying.
And he's running with the ball. It's not like he was sliding.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I don't like that.
That's
all right,
tough.
But in the end, it offsets. They had a hold behind the play. 1st and 10 all over again. And if you're coach, you tell Schlesinger, just do that again. Do that every time. All right, Finkelstein up the middle. Oh, gets the outside. He's going to have a first down for Union Pines. 12 on the carry.
I don't think they realized he had the ball that time.
Nope. Well, we saw it early, and he wasn't tucking it and going.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it with more regularity, and he's had some success doing it. We are running clock, by the way. This will probably be the final play of the third quarter. Lee County up 42-0. Finkelstein under center. Gets in that low crouch. That's 2 weeks in a row we've seen that.
Yeah.
And keeping it again, and he keeps getting hit like that. He's not going to keep it. Oh, come on.
Another flag. A lot from that particular ref from that side.
You beat me to the punch on that. There is one particular official that is maybe a little overzealous with the laundry tonight. I don't know what that call is.
It's hard to take away, the physicality of football.
Jerry, I've always believed you take away too much of the physicality, you get people hurt.
Yeah.
This is a violent game, and if you don't play it violently, you are going to be on the other side of bad things.
Definitely.
This is you talked about how Coach Bordeaux is a laid-back guy. He's not real laid-back right now. He's getting a little animated.
It's hard. Maybe they want him to get in the end zone. Maybe that's the case.
All right, that's going to take it all the way down to the 12. It'll be another Union Pines first down as we open the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back with fourth quarter action. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week.
Lamco Homes. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
Back, Paul B. Gay Stadium. We're going to flip ends here. Start the fourth quarter. We're still examining replays, trying to diagnose, figure out what those last two calls were. No luck. No luck at all.
Not at all.
I do think I have no comment on what I just saw there. I saw four fingers go up in the air.
So I watched to kind of get the attention off the refs a little bit. I watched the guys down at ECU interact with the other players and kind of out on the field. Tyler McMullen, who was a junior, was the biggest lineman there, period. Out of all the guys there, he was the biggest lineman.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Deontay Smith, who was drafted in the fourth round out of ECU by the Bengals this year, McMullen's bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, that's a junior who has really come into his own sort of the middle of last year through to this year. Maybe not the most technically sound of the linemen yet, but he is the lineman with the most D1 ready body.
He'll get there.
And he's got another year with a great defensive line coach. ECU could do worse than to bring that young man in the program. That's all I'm going to say. Finkelstein with the hand. It's up the middle. Stacked up inside the 10. It'll be second in about 9.
He'll definitely get there. He's now starting to do a little extra work up at Cary with Cary coaching. They're really good guys. A lot of our guys have worked with those guys, and they're really good. And he showed me in his highlight tape that I watched. He has the footwork and everything.
All right, second down. And Finkelstein trying to keep wrapped up.
Nice tackle.
Brought down for no gain. 3rd and 7 coming up down here. They can get a first down at about the 2-yard line here.
And there's another McKendall on the tackle right there.
Inside the Remax red zone. But back to McMullen. That young man, roster aside, I don't even know what he's listed at. Every bit of 335.
Every bit of it.
And well put together. He's proportional. He's a big man. He's, you see different body types. That is an offensive line body
He's
type.
an offensive lineman.
All right, Finkelstein, 3rd down, throws, knocked up in the air, almost picked.
That was 6.
That was 6.
That was 6. If he picked that
Isaiah
was 6.
McKendall starting to make an impact. We've called his number a couple of times the last couple of weeks.
He will be a big guy coming up next season. Big name. He will be used quite a bit.
You think he slides into linebacker position?
I think he slides right into linebacker position.
I think what I know is that we will see JoJo Jennings slide into the middle.
Yep.
And McKendall come and play that edge on the strong side.
Definitely so.
All right, 4th down. And almost got him. Woo!
Almost.
Pressure was coming off the edge. Finkelstein got it out there, a decent delivery. Jamison Rimbert only got one hand up. If he got that second one up, might have hauled it in. Union Pines might have just missed their best opportunity to score. Lee County back onto the field, and I think we're going to start seeing some unfamiliar faces on this offense.
Now to speak
we'll
on
see a different alignment. We haven't seen Brown and Morris in the backfield together.
Definitely a first.
Coach Bordeaux told me that this is something they want to do moving forward as we move through conference play, is get both of these young men onto the field.
That would be nice to
Keep the defense honest, buddy. I tell you what. All right, Patterson from the gun is going to hand to Morris. Morris around the left side. Morris, if he gets much farther, he's going to go. He breaks through one tackle and wrapped up, spun around all the way at the 40-yard line, and there's a flag back at the 15. Boy, I tell you.
That's on that one side, too.
Woo!
There's that one referee.
No comment, sir. No comment.
Well, let's take it off the referee there because something is going on. But if we go back to Isaiah McKendall, another representative of youth football, and he's actually one half of what they call the Boone brothers. So you have Isaiah and the other brother. He's on JV right now, so they will be together soon, and we will have some brothers at linebacker real soon at Lee County. 2 brothers side by side. We will have that soon.
All right, we're back. 1st and 12, 45 yards wiped off the board. And we're going to get a pre-snap penalty, and this is getting ugly pretty quick. I don't know what the call is. This is against Union Pines. I give up, man. Apparently somebody lined up in the neutral zone. The wheels are coming off.
Yeah.
All right, 1st and 7. Patterson from the gun, going to hand to Brown. Brown running hard, picks up about 3. Out to the 15-yard line, 2nd and 4 coming up. Well, I hope you enjoy the heck out of your high school reunion.
Yeah.
I have elected not to attend any of mine, and it hadn't been a real conscious decision. I just haven't.
Yeah.
The timing hasn't been right. You know what I mean?
Well, we talked about a few weeks. You know, we have a lot of younger people passing away, and we definitely want to. Okay,
right,
Will.
Patterson
Will
pulls,
on the
gonna
keeper.
run. Look at the wheels on Will Patterson.
Will.
And over to the Union Pines sideline, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
See that much.
Gets about 12 on the carry. Will Patterson.
We don't see that much.
No, sir, we don't. He pops out. Look at him jumping around. He's proud of himself. As well he should be. All right, a first down for the Jackets, 6:50 to go. Clock continues to run.
First down.
And I'm happy to see Justin Thompson, who has been always a major part of this football program. He's a senior this year. He's in the backfield right now. Ready to take a few handoffs.
Now he isn't in there to he isn't in there to block. He's
Nah.
he's gonna get this. He's gonna get a handoff here. Here's a snap. Nope. They're gonna lateral it out. Oh goodness. He said, "Coach, maybe I'll go back over there and get some Gatorade."
They didn't help him out with that.
That play was broken
that
from
wasn't
the
the play that
beginning.
helped him.
And 5-yard loss. That's not going to help the average.
Oh, yeah.
And Mark Schlesinger is into the ball game at quarterback.
I've been waiting to see that.
Now, my question is, do you let him do what he does well, or do you have him throw the ball around a little bit?
It's hard it's hard to take that away from him. Mark is a rough, tough runner.
All right, from the gun. Lee County's got it spread out. Schlesinger going to hand. Nope, he's going to keep, and he's around the left side. Look at that.
Oh, there we go. There we
Schlesinger
go.
into the secondary, cuts it outside. A little bit of wiggle there, and he'll go for about 28 on the carry. His first carry of the night, Mark Schlesinger, number 8,
go.
junior quarterback, and the heir apparent next year when Patterson moves on.
I think he'll do great. I really think Mark will do great next year.
Well, I got to tell you this, man, that the last 2 starting quarterbacks at Lee County, there's been some raised eyebrows.
Yeah.
You know, and there have been comments, well, they're only going to go as far as fill in the blank can take. Colin
Right.
Johnson, now Will Patterson.
Right.
I think the feeling about Schlesinger is going to be different. Neither Johnson nor Patterson contributed on in any other phase of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really get a whole lot of snaps as a backup.
True.
Schlesinger's done both of those. There's no doubt that there's buy-in from the rest of the team as him as a leader because they love him.
Mm-hmm.
And another flag.
Another flag on the play.
Holding, and that's all coming back. I think the transition to Schlesinger, assuming that's what it's going to be, is going to be seamless. Now, Schlesinger knows as well as anybody, nothing is given in this program.
Yeah, he knows.
And who knows who's coming up through the ranks that's going to fight him for that position.
He knows.
But as we sit here today, folks close to the program got to feel Schlesinger's the guy next year.
Yeah.
And a credit to him because there's a lot of young men that could have treated this situation differently and been like, no, I'm a quarterback.
Yep.
I'm not going to go play safety or linebacker or play special teams or whatever the case might be. He's never missed a beat.
But that's where that dog mentality comes from.
And has relished every minute, every snap that he's on the field and is a legitimate impact player on this team. All right, 2nd and a mile coming up. Inside of 4 minutes to go. Lee County milking this clock. Like to get a first down here, keep the offense out on the field, if for nothing else to get reps for these guys that are checking in the ball game.
I know down in the JV area, you just got a Jay Austin, who was a quarterback back when I was in middle school for Lee County. One of the only players I know that won offensive and defensive first team all conference.
Wow.
His son is now one of the JV quarterbacks, and he brings you both aspects. He can throw the ball really good, and he can also run the ball really good. So we'll be able to see the next quarterback. You thinking after this year we'll have this team for about 2 years, by itself. Mark 1 year, maybe the next one after that to have it for 3.
All right, a lot of substitutions coming in. Isaiah Peoples now into the backfield. Tyler Walden getting his first look at receiver over there in the slot on the left. Peoples going nowhere.
A little bad snapping.
Yeah. Disjointed here. Coach Bordeaux giving him something to talk about in film session. All right, 3rd and about 25 coming up. Let Schlesinger throw the ball.
I want to see it.
The issue I've got right now is you don't have any receivers that get legitimate reps in there. And when you're in down and distance like this,
you want to throw it.
It gets a little dicey. I don't know. We'll see.
I think he'll let him throw it here. Well, he brought Kendall back in.
All right, 3rd and a mile. 2 minutes ago, going to hand it to Kendall. Nope, he's going to keep it. Going around the left side and into the secondary, running through folks.
That was
3rd and 25, got about 16 on the carry. And that'll bring up 4th and 9, and I think they're going to keep the offense out there. Down to about a minute and a half by the time they snap this. And remember, the clock will continue to run. They will pause it briefly on the change of possession. They're going to load up this right side. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Number 16 down there on the far side. Who is that?
That's McKendall.
Okay. All right. All right. Schlesinger from the gun. Takes a snap. Hands. Kendall Morris up the middle. Nothing. Loses a couple. And that'll be Union Pine's ball going the other way. And the defense will trot back out there. Jennings and Johnson still in there at the linebacker position. Ross Johnson, who for my money is the player of the game.
Yes, sir.
Out there on that defensive line.
Definitely the player of the game
Getting
tonight.
a big holler from the crowd here for some of those young men coming off, getting.
Well, one thing
reps.
I always noticed, Coach Bordeaux, he lets the kind of guys kind of get in and out for the offense, but that defense. He's going to –
Well, at this point, I mean, you're 36 seconds from a shutout.
Yeah.
You mess around and take too many players out, you get a blown coverage, and you give up that shutout.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that.
Nobody.
All right, new quarterback in, trying to find a number here at 16, going to throw it up late, and has Rembert, who's had a nice night.
That's completion.
And that is Antoine Wilson, the junior, in at quarterback. 1 for 1 on the night, and that'll probably be the last play they'll get off. They're going to try and run one more. Clock inside 5 seconds. Wilson gets everybody set, takes a snap, heaves it up there. That's going to get picked. Nope. Going to fall harmlessly to the turf. 42-0 is your final.
Thank you for coming out tonight.
And if you would bring it right up here, sir, we will go straight to the post game. All right, Jerry. Rough night, man.
Yeah, it won't as bad as we could have, as we thought. Maybe
well, Union Pines, particularly early in the game, good job of managing the clock, holding on to the ball, just unable to make a big play down deep in Lee County territory. You take a couple of those and convert those into touchdowns, all of a sudden it's a completely different dynamic. They didn't do it. Lee County eventually able to just put on their foot on the gas, lean on them, and too much talent at the skill positions.
Yeah.
We saw McKendall with the big catch. We saw B.J. Brown with 2 big touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
Kendall Morris with a big touchdown. The big package came in at the tailback position.
Yeah.
Just too much talent to rotate out there. Union Pine's undermanned in this ball game, and in the end, couldn't get it done. This was a predictable result.
Yeah. So now as we prepare for the next, where are we at next week?
Tim, what game are we doing next week? Because the schedule is wonky. So Lee County was scheduled to play Richmond on Friday.
Okay.
Southern Lee, whose game with Richmond was postponed, is now playing Richmond on Tuesday, which means that the Lee County game has to be pushed to Saturday, which means that the Lee County-Richmond game now is at 11 a.m. on Saturday. And nobody's 100% sure where we're going to be. We might be down there Saturday morning. We might take a completely different game Friday night. I don't know.
Man.
And that's above my pay grade. So we'll see. Tune in, check social media, and we will figure out where we're going to be. One way or the other, we'll be calling a game, and it'll be great because it'll be me and you, and we're the best.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
All right, anything to add before we put a bow on this one?
Nothing to add, just a great night for football, and proud both teams got out here, no injuries. That's the main thing, to get things done, get out the field with no injuries and move on to the next week.
A pretty clean game up until that last couple of drives. A lot of flags came out, some of them questionable, whatever. But a pretty clean game for the most part. No turnovers from Lee County. Not a whole lot of penalties when it mattered. When we started getting a lot of subs in there was some stuff, and some of those were suspect. So I think all in all, the coaching staff's got to be happy. Nice performance, and now things get a little hectic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's go
some
time.
Real good football.
Tim, what do we got? Who's the sponsor tonight for the post-game show? First Bank. First Bank. Michelle Bullard and that crew over there. Hey, thanks for everything you do. Thanks for making this possible. Jerry, thank you. Tim, thank you. Wynn, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm Chris. This is Jerry. We are out. Peace.
First Bank presents the post-game show on the NFHS Network. Brought to you by New Image Media.